bet it's a safe bet that none of us in the room know that. But where that song is really coming from is just, I think those of us that grew up around church and around the things of God, how do I put this? It's like the grass is green, the sky is blue, 2 + 2 is 4, and God loves me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like one of those ambiguous, like obvious things that after a while don't really affect our day-to-day life. Does anybody understand what I'm saying? Okay. And so, well, here's my kind of thing. When I was a kid, I just, where it came from in my mind or whatever, but I began to find my significance in what I do, in the things that I do, not really who I am or who God thinks I am. So it's like, when I was a teenager, when I would do things that He didn't want me to do or whatever, it played out one of two ways. Either I wallowed in guilt and shame for as long as it took me to work my way back to where I was when He really loved me or something, or I just thought, you know, I've already gone down this road so far, I might as well go all the way, and then He's going to punish me anyways, right? So might as well enjoy it. That's kind of how it is when we base how God feels about us, or if we believe that God feels about us, the way that we perform or whatever. And for me, a couple years ago, God changed or transformed me. And that's so cliche, I hate to even say it, because I've heard everyone say that. That's on stage with a mic talking about God. But it's not cliche. Like, God really transformed me just because He convinced me through whatever, I don't know how He did, but He convinced me that you and I are extremely valuable to Him. And that alone has changed my life. I think I used to think that, yeah, I'm valuable to God, kind of, but the reason He died for me is so that He could just clean up this mess for me, so that I could get back to pleasing Him or something like that. I don't know what I was thinking. But really, like, I've been doing some, I don't know how to speak Greek, and I don't really want to know. It looks ridiculous. It looks really hard. I can't even read music. I do this by ear. I don't even want to try. But I've been, like, doing this whole thing where I read my Bible, and then I have this concordance thing that, by code, allows you to find the Greek word. And I've been studying John 17 because it was Jesus praying for us. So I kind of want to know how He felt about us. And if you want to know, you can go read John 17, and it's pretty obvious. But this certain passage, I think it's verse 22 or something, and it talks about how He came, like the Father sent Him to come down and die for us. And it was kind of hard to understand exactly what that was saying, especially the way that these scholars decided to translate the Greek. But when I went back and I found the Greek word and I actually looked at the definition, it literally says that God, in the form of Jesus, came down on a love mission. And that doesn't really sound like a God who needed us or needed something from us. And so in order to get us back to where He wanted us, He had to clean up the mess. And I don't know if anyone else in here has had a similar journey to this, but for some reason this has made all the difference to me, just even getting out of bed in the morning, or a reason to love people, or a reason to even write songs for any reason other than making money or something like that. And it's just that God sees me and you as so valuable. Like, and I have to say it again, He sees you and me as valuable. And it took me a long time I still get up in the morning and I'm like, God, please help me to believe that. And God will help you to believe it because it's true. He is super, super fond of you. And He did it already. And the book of Colossians, which we at this church are studying right now, I've studied it a couple times this year just because it talks about this stuff a lot. But it literally calls us chosen and holy and dearly loved. And then it talks about some other things that you should do if you're holy and chosen and dearly loved. But it's not saying do these things and then you'll be chosen and holy and dearly loved. It's saying you already are holy and chosen and dearly loved on the inside, so act like it on the outside. Does that change anything about this religion or whatever that we do called Christianity for you? it's not even hard anymore for me. It's not a religion. I don't have to make Bible reading part of my schedule. Just sometimes I'm walking through my day and I think, oh, what does God say about that? And I go look it up, and then it turns into this, whatever it is. Sometimes I'll go a week or two without reading it, but I experience God in other ways. So I hope that didn't ruin anyone's spiritual plans right now. I don't mean you should go do that, but anyways, that place, realizing how valuable I am to God, is really where this album came from. And that's kind of what this is tonight. It's a CD release party or whatever. We're making this album available to you, and I hope, like, we're only taking donations, so please give me $1,000 if you want, but take one if you want one. Don't leave without it if you want it. If you don't, you can go back to listening to whatever's cooler than this music or something. I hope no one leaves here that wants one. That's all I'm saying. But this is where that album came from. These songs came from this journey of, like, and I think you can hear it in the lyrics. It's like, wow, like, God really loves me. Like, I don't have to get somewhere. He already got there for me. And I'm sitting in his arms, and he's guiding me. Is that my phone? Maybe God's telling me to shut up. No, it was somebody else. But anyways, so here it is. I just wanted you to understand the heart behind these songs. And I don't want you to leave without at least thinking about this. And take it to as far the extreme as you want, and you haven't touched on it yet. That's all I'm saying. Don't stop at, okay, God, he's fond of me, cool. Like, but I'm a disgusting person. Jesus says if you will come to him, he will clean up your life. And that's the good news. He did it all. So stop trying to do it for him. So I was thinking about that stuff, where this song Sunshine came from.